It starts with something many people quietly notice but rarely say out loud. The women who leave the strongest impression are usually not the ones trying to become the center of attention. They are not constantly searching for approval. They do not fight to be noticed or spend their energy proving their value to everyone around them. Instead, they carry something much more memorable. It is a calm confidence that speaks long before they open their mouths. There is a peaceful strength in the way they walk, the way they listen, and the way they remain comfortable with themselves. The truth is simple. People are not deeply drawn to someone because that person demands attention. They are drawn to someone because of how they feel in that person's presence and because of the quiet mystery that naturally remains. In this journey, we will discover 10 silent habits that create genuine attraction through confidence, self-respect, and authenticity. These are not tricks or games designed to manipulate anyone. They are real qualities that grow from within. The moment you stop asking yourself, "Am I good enough?" everything begins to shift. Stay with me because one small change in your thinking could completely transform the way people respond to you. And the final lesson may be the one that changes everything. Many people spend years trying to earn acceptance from the world around them. They work longer than they need to. They speak more than they truly want to. They constantly change parts of themselves just to match someone else's expectations. They hope that if they become more helpful, more attractive, more successful, or more agreeable, they will finally receive the love, respect, and attention they have been waiting for. But there is a difficult truth that many only understand after years of disappointment. The harder you chase approval, the more control you give away. The moment your confidence depends on another person's opinion, your emotional peace becomes fragile. One compliment lifts you up. One criticism tears you down. One ignored message creates anxiety. One rejection makes you question your value. That is an exhausting way to live. Real confidence does not come from outside. It is not handed to you by friends, family, or strangers. It is something you quietly build inside yourself day after day. And once that foundation becomes strong, people notice without you needing to announce it. Keep watching because the next shift is where quiet confidence truly begins to take shape. It becomes stronger every time you remain loyal to your values, even when choosing the easier road would bring faster rewards. Think about the people who have left the biggest impact on your life. Most of them were probably not trying to impress everyone around them. They did not enter every conversation hoping to be accepted. They did not spend every moment explaining why they deserved respect or attention. Instead, they carried themselves with calm confidence. That confidence did not come from believing they were greater than everyone else. It came from truly knowing who they were. They understood that their value was not decided by popularity, comparison, or outside praise. Their identity was built on something much deeper and much stronger. One of the biggest misunderstandings about confidence is the belief that it means being perfect. It does not. True confidence means accepting your flaws without allowing them to control your future. Every successful person has failed. Every respected leader has faced criticism. Every inspiring person has questioned themselves at some point. The difference is that they refused to let those moments become permanent definitions of who they were. They realized that failure is something that happens, not something they become. Keep watching because the next idea explains why this quiet strength naturally attracts respect without asking for it. When you begin to truly value yourself, something powerful starts to change. Your choices become clearer. You stop saying yes to opportunities that go against your principles simply because you are afraid of disappointing someone. You stop chasing relationships that force you to hide parts of your personality. You stop measuring yourself against everyone around you because you understand that your only real competition is the person you were yesterday. Little by little, your energy is no longer wasted trying to prove your worth. Instead, it is used to create something meaningful. Many people think attraction begins with appearance, impressive words, or social status. Those things may catch someone's attention for a short time, but they rarely build lasting admiration. What truly draws people in is authenticity. Authenticity cannot be copied because it comes from living in alignment. It is the quiet confidence that appears when your words, actions, beliefs, and character all move in the same direction. When people sense that kind of consistency, trust begins to grow naturally. They respect you without being asked. They feel comfortable around you because they know they are seeing the real person instead of someone performing for approval. Stay with me because the next shift may completely change the way you see yourself. One of the most freeing decisions you will ever make is accepting that not everyone needs to understand you, not everyone will agree with your dreams, not everyone will appreciate the path you have chosen. The moment you stop trying to earn every person's approval, you gain the freedom to become the person you were always meant to be. That freedom is incredibly valuable because it allows your decisions to be guided by purpose instead of fear. Imagine planting a young tree. You do not dig it up every few days to check if the roots are growing. You water it faithfully. You protect it during storms. You trust that the unseen work beneath the ground is preparing it for future strength. Self-worth grows in exactly the same way. It is not built overnight through one inspiring speech or one perfect day. It grows through quiet, consistent choices that nobody notices. Reading one more page when you feel tired, exercising when no one is watching, speaking the truth when a lie would seem easier, walking away from situations that damage your dignity. These small moments become the deep roots of lasting confidence. The strongest transformations almost always happen in silence before anyone else can see the results. There will always be voices telling you that you must become more before you deserve respect, more successful, more attractive, more accomplished, more popular, but life quietly teaches a very different lesson to those willing to listen. The strongest people are not the ones who spend their lives collecting approval from others. They are the ones who realize their value was never something they had to earn. It was always there, waiting to be recognized, protected, and expressed. Once you truly believe your worth is not open for negotiation, everything begins to change. You listen more instead of arguing. You learn more instead of comparing. You serve more instead of searching for recognition. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this. You begin inspiring other people to discover their own value. Not because you constantly tell them what to do, but because your quiet confidence becomes an example they cannot ignore. That kind of strength changes relationships. It transforms careers. It shapes families. It changes lives in ways that loud words never can. Real growth begins the moment you stop asking the world to define you and start living as the person you already know you can become. And here is where the next lesson becomes even more powerful. Many people believe influence belongs to the person who speaks the loudest, explains every detail, or always has the perfect answer ready. But if you carefully watch those who naturally earn respect wherever they go, you will notice something different. They are comfortable with silence. They never feel the need to fill every pause with unnecessary words. They understand something that many people overlook. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is presence. It shows confidence because it tells the world you do not need constant noise to prove your value. Sometimes the most unforgettable person in the room is the one who speaks only when their words truly matter. Their calm presence creates curiosity. Their patience communicates strength. Their ability to stay peaceful while others rush to be heard becomes impossible to ignore. This is one of the quiet habits that leaves a lasting impression. And in the next part, you will discover why mastering silence can become one of the most attractive forms of confidence anyone can develop. Stay until the end because this next insight may completely change the way you communicate forever. It is confidence without putting on a show. It is the quiet ability to stay calm while everyone else is rushing to be noticed. In today's world, silence has become uncommon. We are surrounded by endless notifications, constant opinions, and a never-ending pressure to stay visible. Many people believe that if they are not talking, posting, or explaining themselves all the time, they are somehow falling behind. But people with real confidence understand something much deeper. You do not need to reveal everything to prove your value. In fact, the more secure you become within yourself, the less you feel the need to constantly defend your choices or explain your life. Think about the last conversation that truly stayed in your mind. It was probably not because someone talked without stopping. It was because they listened with full attention. They made you feel seen. They made your words feel important. Genuine listening has become one of the rarest forms of respect in today's world. While many people are busy planning their next reply before you finish speaking, a confident person is fully focused on understanding first. That one habit changes everything because people rarely remember every word you said. They remember how you made them feel. Stay with me because this simple shift could completely change the way people experience your presence. There is a huge difference between staying silent because you are afraid and staying silent because you are grounded. Fearful silence hides. Confident silence observes. Fearful silence grows from insecurity. Confident silence grows from self-control. When you truly know who you are, you no longer feel the need to win every debate or dominate every conversation. You understand that not every opinion deserves your response, and not every misunderstanding needs your explanation. One of the greatest strengths you can build is becoming comfortable with moments of pause. When someone challenges you, your first instinct may be to defend yourself immediately. But imagine choosing a different path. Imagine taking one slow breath, allowing your emotions to settle, and speaking only after your thoughts become clear. That short moment of silence can completely change the outcome of a conversation. It shows patience. It shows maturity. It reveals emotional strength. It quietly tells others that your decisions are guided by wisdom instead of impulse. Sometimes, the strongest response is not the fastest one. Keep watching, because the next lesson explains why silence often speaks louder than words. Silence also creates curiosity in a very natural way. Human nature is interesting. When someone explains every thought, every feeling, and every achievement, there is very little left to discover. But when someone speaks with purpose, instead of speaking endlessly, people naturally become more interested in what they have to say. This is not about pretending to be mysterious or playing emotional games. It is about understanding that every thought does not need to be shared, and every success does not need to be announced. Often your actions introduce you long before your words ever do. Some of the greatest opportunities in life come from noticing what everyone else overlooks. Observation requires quietness. You cannot truly understand people if you are always trying to make sure they understand you. Watch how people treat those who cannot offer them anything in return. Notice whether their actions match their promises. Pay attention to what is left unsaid, because those quiet details often reveal far more than long conversations ever will. Silence sharpens awareness, and awareness leads to wiser decisions. That is a lesson many people discover only after years of experience. There is another powerful gift hidden inside silence. It protects your peace of mind. Not every criticism deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your energy. Some battles are won not by fighting harder, but by choosing not to fight at all. That does not mean accepting disrespect or avoiding important conversations. It simply means choosing your responses with care. Every time you refuse to react emotionally to unnecessary conflict, you protect your energy for the things that truly matter. The people who leave the deepest impression are rarely those who speak the most. They are the ones whose words carry weight because they choose them carefully. When people know that you do not speak just to fill empty space, they naturally pay closer attention when you finally do. Your words become valuable because they are thoughtful and intentional. Just like something rare becomes more precious, meaningful communication becomes more powerful when it is used with purpose instead of excess. That quiet discipline is remembered long after loud voices have faded away. Picture yourself standing beside a peaceful lake early in the morning. The surface is calm, and because it is still, it reflects everything clearly. Now imagine that same lake during a storm. The water becomes restless, and nothing can be seen beneath the surface. The human mind works in much the same way. When it is constantly filled with noise, distractions, and the pressure to respond to everything, clear thinking begins to disappear. But when you create moments of stillness, your judgment becomes sharper, your confidence grows stronger, your purpose becomes easier to recognize. As you move through life, remember that your voice is important, but your presence can be even more powerful. Let your actions speak before your announcements. Let your character introduce you before your reputation does. Listen with real curiosity instead of simply waiting for your turn to speak. Allow silence to become a place where wisdom grows instead of an empty space you feel forced to fill. Because in a world where almost everyone is competing to be heard, the person who truly listens, observes, and speaks with intention is often the one people trust, respect, and remember long after the conversation ends. And the next lesson takes this idea even deeper. There comes a moment in every person's life when they face a decision that changes everything. It is not a choice between success and failure or between winning and losing. It is something much more important. It is the decision to let emotions control your actions or to let your values guide your choices instead. That single decision shapes every relationship, every opportunity, and every challenge you will ever experience. The strongest people are not those who never feel anger, disappointment, fear, or frustration. They are the ones who understand that feeling an emotion and acting on it are two completely different things. We live in a world that encourages instant reactions. A message arrives and we feel pressure to answer immediately. Someone criticizes us and we want to defend ourselves without thinking. A disagreement appears and suddenly it seems as if the loudest voice wins. But real life rarely rewards the quickest reaction. More often, it rewards the wisest response. Wisdom begins in the small space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. Stay with me because this next shift could completely change the way you handle every difficult moment. Imagine standing in the middle of a powerful storm. The wind pushes against you. Heavy rain falls from every direction, and everything around you feels uncertain. You cannot stop the storm from arriving, but you can decide whether you will stand firmly or allow the wind to carry you wherever it chooses. Emotions are very similar. They appear without asking permission. Sometimes they feel overwhelming, sometimes they seem impossible to ignore, but they do not have to decide the direction of your life. Your character makes that decision. One of the biggest misunderstandings about emotional control is believing that it means hiding your feelings. It does not. Ignoring pain does not make it disappear. Pretending that nothing hurts does not make you stronger. Real emotional maturity means honestly recognizing what you feel while refusing to let those emotions become the master of your decisions. That quiet discipline is one of the greatest forms of strength anyone can develop, and it is the foundation of lasting confidence, peaceful relationships, and a life guided by purpose instead of impulse. Stay until the end because the next lesson may become the most life-changing habit of them all. You can feel disappointed without becoming bitter. You can experience anger without becoming unkind. You can feel fear without allowing it to stop your progress. Think about the leaders, teachers, or role models you respect the most. They have almost certainly faced seasons of intense pressure. They have dealt with criticism, failure, rejection, and uncertainty just like everyone else. Yet the reason they inspire others is not because they never struggled. It is because they remained steady when life became difficult. They understood that people do not simply admire confidence. They admire consistency. And consistency is only possible when emotions are managed instead of allowed to take control. Think about how many regrets begin with the words, "I was angry," "I let my emotions take over," or "I wasn't thinking clearly." One careless moment can damage a relationship that took years to build. One thoughtless sentence can leave a mark that even a sincere apology cannot completely erase. That is why emotional discipline is never a weakness. It is a form of protection. It protects your future from choices made during temporary moments of frustration. Stay with me, because the next lesson could completely change the way you handle pressure for the rest of your life. There is incredible power in learning to pause. That brief moment before sending a message, before raising your voice, or before making an important decision can completely change the outcome. During that short pause, you give your values the opportunity to become louder than your emotions. You ask yourself a simple but life-changing question. Will this decision improve tomorrow, or am I only trying to satisfy today's emotions? That one question has the power to transform your relationships, your career, and the direction of your life. Emotional self-control also changes the way people experience your presence. When others know that you remain calm under pressure, they naturally begin to trust you. They feel comfortable sharing their ideas because they know they will not be judged too quickly. They are willing to bring problems to you because they believe you will respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Trust grows when people know your actions are guided by principles rather than changing moods. That quiet stability becomes one of the strongest forms of leadership anyone can develop. Keep watching because the next insight reveals why calm people often become the most trusted people in every room. This does not mean becoming cold, distant, or emotionally unavailable. In fact, emotionally mature people are often the kindest individuals you will ever meet. Because they understand their own emotions, they are better able to understand the emotions of others. They do not rush to criticize because they recognize that everyone is carrying struggles that cannot always be seen. Instead of making quick assumptions, they choose curiosity. Instead of judging immediately, they offer empathy. Instead of turning every disagreement into a battle, they look for meaningful conversation and understanding. That approach creates stronger friendships, healthier families, and deeper relationships. Life will continue to test your emotional strength. There will be days when plans fall apart, when people disappoint you, and when circumstances seem unfair. You cannot control every situation that comes your way, but you can always choose the meaning you give those experiences. Every challenge can either become a reason to lose hope or an opportunity to develop greater patience, deeper wisdom, and stronger resilience. The choice always remains in your hands. Sometimes the hardest seasons quietly prepare you for your greatest growth. The most powerful person in any room is rarely the one demanding attention or reacting to every situation. More often, it is the one who remains calm while others become overwhelmed. It is the person who chooses understanding instead of revenge and stays faithful to their values, even when emotions encourage them to do otherwise. That kind of strength cannot be bought, borrowed, or inherited. It is built through daily practice, one thoughtful decision after another. As you continue moving forward, remember this simple truth: your emotions are valuable messengers, but they were never meant to become your leaders. Listen to what they are telling you, learn from them, but allow your character to make the final decision. In the end, people may forget exactly what happened during life's most difficult moments, but they will always remember the kind of person you chose to become while those moments were unfolding. That is where real strength lives. That is the quiet power that inspires others long after every storm has passed. Stay until the end, because the next lesson may completely change the way you look at relationships forever. One of the biggest misunderstandings about relationships is believing that another person is supposed to complete you. It sounds romantic, and it has been repeated in countless movies, books, and everyday conversations. But the truth is far more empowering. Healthy relationships are not created by two incomplete people hoping someone else will fill the empty spaces in their lives. They are built by two individuals who are committed to growing, learning, and becoming the best versions of themselves. When two emotionally healthy people come together, they do not complete each other. They strengthen one another. They encourage growth instead of dependence. The strongest relationships are built when both people have a sense of purpose that exists beyond the relationship itself. They support one another without losing themselves. They celebrate each other's success without feeling threatened. They continue growing as individuals while building something meaningful together. That kind of partnership creates lasting respect because it is based on shared values instead of emotional dependence. Think about the people you admire the most. They are passionate about something bigger than themselves. They have goals they continue pursuing, values they refuse to compromise, and dreams that give them a reason to wake up with purpose every morning. Their identity is not built around one relationship, one job, or one opinion from another person. It is rooted in the life they are intentionally creating. That quiet sense of direction naturally makes them more attractive because purpose creates confidence, and confidence creates peace. When you build a meaningful life of your own, relationships become a place to share your journey instead of a place to search for your identity. You stop asking someone else to carry the weight of your happiness because you have already begun building it from within. Ironically, that is when healthier, deeper, and more lasting relationships become possible. Keep watching, because the next lesson reveals one final silent habit that quietly earns respect, admiration, and lasting influence wherever you go. Their identity is not built on whether someone praises them or chooses to stay in their life. They know who they are even when they stand alone. That kind of independence is not emotional distance. It is quiet strength. Many people misunderstand independence and mistake it for isolation. They imagine it means refusing support, avoiding close relationships, or pretending they never need anyone. But real independence is something very different. It does not push people away. It simply means your happiness is no longer controlled by someone else's decisions. It means you can appreciate love without depending on it to define your worth. It means relationships become a meaningful part of your life instead of the foundation of your identity. When you understand this, your confidence begins to grow from within instead of being borrowed from other people. That quiet shift changes everything. You stop chasing acceptance and start living with purpose. Stay with me because the next lesson reveals why inner stability is one of the most attractive qualities anyone can develop. Imagine building a beautiful house on weak ground. No matter how impressive it looks from the outside, cracks will eventually appear because the foundation cannot carry the weight placed upon it. Relationships work in exactly the same way. If your self-worth depends completely on another person, every disagreement feels like a danger. Every misunderstanding becomes a crisis. Every moment of distance creates fear and insecurity.